Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
So here's what's happening. Jesus has come back, right? We've had the resurrection, Jesus is coming back. And this week, actually, pretty soon, we'll have the ascension when Jesus actually leaves for good. And so we've had this period of time, this period of Easter. Did you know that Easter's this season? It's not a day? Okay. Yeah, okay. So in this time, Jesus has been preparing them for what's to come. Jesus has been going around kind of, doing the reteach, all the teachers here know this, right? So when you teach something, you teach it, and then you check to see if they understood it, and you realize, no, they didn't. They didn't get any of it. They were scribbling in their notebook, doing something else completely. And so you're like, okay, well, we gotta reteach it. And so you reteach it again, and you're like, hope to God they got it this time, because map testing is coming, and I hope they know it. And that's the ascension. After the ascension is map testing. We've all been doing the post Jesus being here map test, and we're failing, just so you know. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay, can you tell it's map testing season in my world, and I'm not okay? I'm not okay, guys. Not okay. I know. There's nothing more horrible than counselors being in charge of map testing. Like, literally, my job is to help kids be okay. So I do the worst possible thing to them. It's insane. Don't even get me started. Okay. So Jesus has been kind of doing some reteaching, going like, okay, so like, I know you weren't paying attention the first time we did this because you were so busy with the water into wine thing and all the fun that we were having. So we're going to reteach it. You're supposed to love one another. And they're like, are you sure, Jesus? Like, do we have to? But like, Jesus, you love everyone so well. Like, you do it so well that we shouldn't have to do it. You're rocking it. We don't need to do that too. And then he's like, but yeah, you do. And so he keeps kind of saying the same thing. And so our readings today are really focused on how are you and I going to be Christians, right? Because I don't know if you've noticed in our society, we have all sorts of things that we say Christians are about. You have a tattoo, you wear a crucifix, you say it all the time, you vote about it. You tell other people how they should be living their lives, right? We have all these things that this is what it means to be Christian. And Jesus is like, no, that's not what it means. My kingdom is not of this world. And they're like, yeah, but we need a Christian nation. My kingdom is not of this world. We need a Christian nation. We need to make people vote a certain way. And he's like, no, love one another. No, we need to make people vote a certain way. We're going to send people to prison. Yeah. And he's like, no, love one another. It's really this simple, guys. That's why Jesus has to keep reteaching it, because we keep missing it. So that's really our message for today is God is doing something new, and it's not what you and I expect God to be doing. It's not what we expect, because we expect rules, and we expect people to be a certain way, and we expect things to look a certain way. And if we say the certain things, then it's going to work this way, right? Because we like hierarchy. In the church, we love hierarchy so much. In fact, we just keep recreating it. And God keeps coming and saying, no, not like that. Like, it's supposed to be everybody. This is an egalitarian message that Jesus is saying. And I think it's so powerful, because here's what he's saying. You're my friends. You're my equals. I care about you. This is not a Jesus is up here and we're down here. Clergy are up here and the rest of us are down here. It's none of that. It's really love. And the ultimate love, I really, really do think, is friendship. I do. We want it to be sexual. We want it to be all these different things. But really, at the end of the day, the most powerful form of love is friendship, because it lasts through all sorts of things. And I'm going to tell you, for the people who came to my house last night for my birthday, thank you so much, because that's what love is. I honestly didn't think anyone would come. I really didn't. I know, isn't this? Erica's like, my God, you're mean to yourself. And I was like, but like everybody has other things to do, right? But like that's what love is at its very, very core. In fact, a sexual relationship that's not one of friendship isn't love, is it? So when Jesus says to you, you're my friends, you're my equals, we're in this together, that's incredibly powerful. And I hope you realize how incredibly powerful that is. It's not about rules. It's not about us versus them. It's not about telling people how to be or any of that. It's really this. You're my friends. And if you know anything about friendship, it lasts through all sorts of weird, bizarre things. Ask Lucy. And Lucy's got some good stories. Lucy had to live with me when we were freshmen, like 18. So there are some good stories there. But it lasts through all sorts of things. So when Jesus says to his disciples, you are my friends, I care about you. And the best way that you can be a Christian in this world, when I'm gone, is to be friends with one another, to love one another through anything. Because it's not about the rules. It's not about all the different things that you and I get obsessed with. We get into hierarchies and we get into rules and we get into all these different things. And all those things are really about separating us from love. They make it safer not to love, to not be friends. And I'll tell you that as a clergy person. It is way easier to be a clergy person in a church that I haven't been to before. I can roll into a church that I haven't been into before, wear all my fancy vestments and say all the big words, and it's way more powerful. Let me tell you, I preached for a friend for his installation, and I was a way cooler priest there. Like, way cooler. I got all the things, and I was saying the things, and it looks really great because somebody's like, here's a drink. And I'm like, thanks, I'll take the drink. It's way more exciting and way more fun because that separation is where power makes us feel good, right? I'm going to go back to the teachers. If you're a teacher, you have way more power than those kids do. And it's great. And if you're a CEO, you have way more power than the person who works in the mailroom. And sometimes that feels great. In fact, I was talking to a kid just this week, and he said, Miss Rhodes, I used to be a bully. I said, well, tell me more about that. And I was like, you know, why did you feel the need to do that? And he was like, because it felt good. It felt good to have power over somebody else. So sometimes I think that's what we do in the church and in religion because we're afraid of what it would be like to be friends. What if we were weak, and what if we were vulnerable? So when Jesus says the ultimate measure of your Christianity is whether or not you are friends, what does that mean for us? What does that mean? And so I ask this of all of us. What does it mean for us to not worry so much about what we wear, and what we look like, and the rules that other people are following? But what if we just said, ministry is with, not to? What if we said, you are my friends? What if we did that? And what if we really truly accepted that Jesus says that to us too? Because does that change it? Does that change Christianity if the God that we worship is really our friend? Oh, and also, because y'all know I love Star Wars, the Force be with you. I love it. Love it. I love Episcopalians. Which is good.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.